YouTube, what's up? Back again for another daily fishing video here on Andrew Upshaw Fishing. I hope y'all enjoyed yesterday's video. It highlighted a few of my never really talked about drop shot tricks that I think will help you the next time you're on the water. I've learned these over the years, and they definitely work, no doubt about it. But today's video, we're taking a little bit of a curveball. We're out here on the water. We're here on Toledo Bend, and I'm going to show you a few of my Livescope settings that definitely seem to work, and especially for crappie fishing. And this is more of a crappie episode of how to set up your depth finders and also hopefully catch a few fish in the process. But hey guys, if you have not subscribed to this channel yet, make sure you hit that sub button in the bottom right hand corner of the screen. It's a little red button. Greatly would appreciate it. And I've been asking for a bunch of comments lately, but I think if you can really help me, and I know a lot of guys always want to figure out a way to help, like the video. I would really appreciate it for the YouTube algorithm if you just hit that like button on the video. It's super simple. You don't have to write anything, nothing like that. Just hit that like. I would really appreciate it, guys. So let's go ahead and jumped right into this Livescope video, and I'm going to show you a few things that I've learned over the years that's made me better with Livescope. Alright guys, so we're here on the lake, and I've got a few of my Livescope settings pulled up to show you exactly what I do when I'm trying to catch crappie. So here we go, let's take a look at this. So here's Livescope, okay? Here's an underwater bridge, and there's some fish hanging out. And as you can see the bottom, you see out about 60 feet right here. Well, I'm gonna tell you right now, guys, that's the wrong setting to have when you're crappie fishing. Maybe it's the right one for bass, but it's not the right one for crappie. So crappie have a tendency to suspend, okay? So 9 times out of 10, you really don't need to see the bottom. You just need to see the cover you're fishing and the fish. So what I like to do, especially for crappie, is I always set my depth where I think the fish are actually sitting. So I'll adjust that depth to about 15 foot, okay? So I'm only seeing 15 foot down. I'm still seeing out 60 foot. Well, that's too far too, because most of the time you can't cast that far. So I actually put it at 40 foot and sometimes even 35 foot or 30 foot. And so now you can kind of see under your boat here, and you can see out in front of you. So I'm kind of away from that bridge now, but we're going to ease back over to that bridge, and we're going to take a look and see what we see. So y'all saw it when it was zoomed out, you know, so where it was at 60 foot, it was a long ways away. But now I'm going to show you what the bridge actually looks like when it's close. And there's actually a stump on it. There's a lot of little things that are on this particular spot. They're pretty unique. So there's a brush pile that's sitting on it, and there's some crappie sitting on the back side of that brush pile right there. See them right there? You also have one sitting right over here suspended, some on the actual tree suspended. You see those? Those are all crappie right there. So I'm pretty close to the actual cover here. So this is a pipe that's marking the spot. So we're going to try to line up and catch a couple crappie for you guys. And I'm going to show you exactly how you do that using Livescope. Alright guys, today we're out here on Toledo Bend. It's a bit windy today, so I apologize if there's any wind noise or anything like that. But when it comes to using a Livescope, especially a Livescope crappie fishing, there's only a couple things that I like to throw when I'm crappie fishing. Well, I'm not a minnow guy. You know, I'm a cast and reel type of guy. And in that situation, I'm using a Roadrunner. The head of the Roadrunner. This is an 1/8 ounce Roadrunner. This is the one that I've always used as a kid growing up. I changed the colors out because, you know, crappie, they're kind of like smallmouth. They like those really bright colors, chartreuse, pink, orange, all those different head colors. But when it comes to the bait, I've always stuck with that really shad looking profile. This one happens to be a Strike King Lightning Shad, and Glimmer Blue is the color. I throw a couple different ones, Electric Chicken, the Glimmer Blue, Blackened Chartreuse is another really good color, especially here on Toledo Bend. But for Livescoping especially, and crappie fishing, you got to have a lot of the right gear. Using 6-pound Strike King Tour Grade fluorocarbon, and using this Wally Marshall speed shooter. This is a really small combo. It's a 6-foot medium light. I like a medium light if I'm crappie fishing. It allows that rod to load up really nice, and I can also make really accurate casts. So let's say, for instance, I'm having to shoot up under docks, and all those crappie, I can see them on Livescope, and I can see them up under a dock. This is going to allow me to shoot the bait way up under the dock, and that is really a big deal, especially when trying to target those hard to get to crappie. But in this situation, we're not targeting hard to get to a crappie. I'm just merely casting to them. So the first thing you got to do is make sure you're pointed in the right direction, because Livescope, the way it works, is everywhere your trolling motor points is what's going to see in front of you. So in this situation, I make my cast, and I can actually see my bait dropping on Livescope here. And the retrieve is fairly simple, but you got to go slow. That's the big key when it comes to crappie fishing, is that really slow retrieve. The faster you go, the less likely you are to catch one. Or at least for me, that's how it's always been. And every once in a while, you got to drop it and start reeling it again, especially if you get too much lift. But you can actually see these fish interact with your bait on Livescope. That's what makes it so cool, is the fact that I can go out there and say, okay, that's where that big pile of fish is sitting right there. I'm gonna let my bait sink down 5, 10 foot, whatever it is, and you can still see that tiny little crappie bait. And that's part of that setting on there of only letting yourself see about 15 foot down and 40 foot out, or 30 foot out in some situations. And what that does is it allows you to be able to see your bait the whole time, and it makes those crappie look really big on the screen. Oh, I missed him. Let's see, but there's a big old pile of crappie right here right now. They're not big ones. They're all like 10 to 13 inches. I mean, nothing crazy, but it can take even a more inexperienced crappie angler to even those pros out there. I mean, that's the reason those pros are winning so many of those tournaments and crappie tournaments, is for the fact that they have a Livescope. That forward-facing sonar has changed the game, especially in the crappie game. Probably more so in crappie than it has in any other thing. But having the right settings is important when you're talking about catch. And I caught a bass. Lo and behold, like, I can't. This is a crappie video, I promise. But I caught a bass. I mean, I don't know why anybody's surprised that I caught a bass crappie fishing, but that's just kind of how it goes sometimes. Let's see if we can catch a crappie real quick, and I'll try to get some footage of the actual bite on Livescope. First thing you do is you cast out your bait out there at only about 30 feet. You're not going to see your bait as when it falls, but I can see it because I made a short enough cast. That's one good thing about that. You just reel it up to where those fish are sitting, which is what I'm doing here. I'm right over the top of them right now. Oh, hit it and missed it. Dang. So that happens sometimes. You pull my bait down. So I saw that fish come out of that school and hit my bait. So we'll try one more cast and see if we can catch one. Kind of cast a little bit to the right there on accident. You can see my bait falling right here. That's my bait falling. Bait's right over the school of crappie right now. I had one come up and look at it. Got another one tracking it. And he didn't even look at them all. Just, oh, wow. Look at them. They're everywhere. They all came crazy right there. Let's see if we can get another one real fast. We shouldn't have to cast it very far. They kind of swim out off the brush pile. So let's see. There we go. That's a big. Wow, it's a bass. Alright guys, here is a good view of a school of crappie that's sitting on top of a brush pile. As you can see, they're right here. That's the school of crappie. What I'm going to attempt to do is to make a cast and try to catch one of them. So cast out right directly in front of the troll motor. The nice thing is when you only have it set at 30 feet, you don't have to make a really long cast, and you can see your bait so much better. And so I see my bait, it's falling down right in front of the crappie, and I'm gonna reel my bait really slow into that school and right above it. You always want to keep your bait either in it or right above it. Oh, hit it and missed it. You saw him come out there and hit it right there. All right, let's see. Got one bite right there. Let's see if we can get another. All right, there's just a load of them there. All right, let's see here. There's my bait coming in. It's about a couple of feet, so I'm gonna let it drop just a little bit more. It's a couple of feet above them. Let it drop a little bit, and we're gonna reel it, and I'm gonna reel real slow through those fish. There he is. Just like that. Not a giant crappie, but a crappie nonetheless. And here's a look at that particular crappie. Not a giant, like I said, but a nice one. So guys, I hope you learned how to use your live scope to catch these crappie. I hope you enjoy seeing some of these strikes. This is a lot of fun. Didn't catch as many crappie today as I'd like, but every once in a while, that's just how it goes. It's kind of a weird condition day. But if you have not yet, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Make sure you do so. And like the video if you can. Really hope you like this video, and I'll see you on the next one.